I'm Fabio Vigo from the School of Education of Aarhus University in Copenhagen, Denmark. Welcome to the Erasmus ITIRE Project Training Course, working with children and families from a refugee background in early childhood and care services. You can find more information on the project and the training course on the ITIRE website. The teachers of the course are Iran Kavaja, Susanne Brunbeck, and me. The course is divided into 6 classes. The first class today is about understanding the refugee students' pathway, needs, and potentials. The second class is on analyzing ECC service organization and culture to welcome refugee children and families. The third class is about developing ECC service policies and practices that include refugee children and families, while the fourth class is about mental health, minority stress, trauma, and refugee children in education. The fifth class will delve into building alliances with refugee children, parents, and carers, while the sixth and final class will be on educational and pedagogical strategies of inclusion and diversity. In the first part of this initial class, I will provide a short overview of a refugee education program. We know from literature and experience that refugee students are a heterogeneous group with different skills, experiences, and backgrounds. Individuals from different regions and cultures have diverse educational needs and potential, even within the same host country. To avoid downward assimilation, that is poverty and assimilation of students from a refugee backgrounds into the underclass, and to promote successful inclusion, refugee education programs in the ECC area should be first tailored to the context of the program and to the specific cultural and linguistic backgrounds of a particular refugee subpopulation. Second, informed by the resettlement experience, in particular taking into consideration pre-migration, migration, and post-migration factors in designing program activities and intervention approaches. Moreover, they should be embedded in community with strong linkage between parents, ECC service leaders, and community organization, which is what we call building alliances. And finally, they should be coordinated across multiple systems, what we call inter-systems, which encompass parents, ECC service, and community leaders. There is no single or best inclusion model for refugee education programs in ECC services. Most countries mix elements, practices, experiences, and testing activities inspired or borrowed by other countries. While educators come to ECC service equipped with a capital of knowledge and skills, their ability to act, that is, their agency, is influenced by external and internal forces such as policy, funding, and service leadership. The local combination of these forces can be defined as the site ontologies. As a consequence, adaptability is more relevant than standards in refugee education programs. Refugee education programs should go beyond fixed categories based on marginality, for example, due to refugee status, vulnerability, or trauma, to foster an appreciation of refugee children's and families' informal and situated learning practices. Educators should engage with refugee children and their families to identify funds of knowledge to be used to improve educational practices. As the educational needs and potentials of resettled refugees are diverse and complex, it is unlikely that EC services are able to meet and realize them all. Programs should reconceptualize refugee education as inclusive of diverse play and learning contexts in and outside of the services. This slide provides an overview of the common framework of refugee program in early childhood education. So we find some areas and levels. There are three main areas. The first is on learning and includes acquire host country language, develop mother tongue, as well as overcome interrupted schooling or limited education. The second area is the social area and encompass adjust to a new education system and bond and feel a sense of belonging. The third area is related to well-being and encompass cope with separation, loss, and/or trauma, and feel safe. This area should be structured into different levels that goes from the individual to the community level. The individual level include language proficiency and physical and mental health. The interpersonal level includes friendship and social networks. The school level encompasses admission and induction, welfare and pastoral support, school engagement, learning environment, teacher-student interaction, assessment, and career support practices. And finally, the community level includes the extracurricular activities, parental involvement, and partnership with services.